So today we're going to be talking about dashboard filters and parameters. So we can just get started with a little bit about what is a dashboard. So a dashboard is a data visualization tool displaying data through a grid, displaying user filtered or chosen data. So some key features are it's usually going to be made from a BAQ, and it shows live data changes, which is why everybody loves these, because instead of having to print a report all the time or having to run a BAQ all the time, you just open your dashboard and it'll show you that data that you already want to see. And it is not supported in the Kinetic Application Studio, as the classic screen will soon be obsolete because they are steering away from all those classic screens now. So we have to make these in App Studio. So we can just get started with what exactly is a filter. So a filter is going to be a rule applied to limit or restrict what data is shown based on fields and or parameter values. So this is what you usually see when you're opening any grid now in the Kinetic screens. They have all these little filters that you're able to filter the data on. And I'll get into the difference between filters and parameters, but that is what I consider what a filter is. It's filtering, so you can just choose either a certain name, certain description of the vendor table and things like that. And what is a parameter? It's going to be input value provided by the user or system to control what data is shown in the report or, in the data that you're pulling. Basically, what I like to think the difference between these is that a parameter is going to be filtering your data when you're first running your query. So if you're running like the SQL or the BAQ or however you're running your data, you're going to want to put these parameters first, and the filter is going to be like the smaller things. And again, I'm going to get into that more, but just so we have that idea in mind. And this is just a little snippet of when you add a parameter to your BAQ. To your BAQs, this is what a parameter field looks like, where you can add it in there yourself. So again, the difference between these filters and parameters, we have a few features that we can talk about. So let's talk about the purpose, the difference between them. So again, the filter is going to be ruled to restrict what data is shown, but then the parameter is the user input to control the whole data set. So when you have a large, let's say you have over 100,000 lines of data, and it's between all the companies, and you have 5 companies within your system, you're not going to want to see all 10,000 rows. So you would put a parameter for the company or for the parts or for stuff like that. So it would restrict the data that is being shown first. And then you can add your filters, which is going to restrict that even further down, but the parameter is going to be the bigger one. And then the filter is just going to be, smaller things that, okay, maybe you just want to see things between these certain dates or between these certain times and stuff like that. And then when applied again so then the filter is going to be after the data is already retrieved, and you do these filters on the dashboard itself. But then again, the parameter is going to be filtering that data run. And then the performance, so filters are going to be slower if you don't put parameters on a large data set at first. But if not, if you already filter that big data set, then the filters are going to work fast. And then the parameters, again, are limiting that data set. And then where they're configured, your filters are going to be in the grid and chart itself, while the parameter, you can do them in the BAQ. But now in App Studio, I'll show you that you can do it in App Studio, but it's technically still filtering before the query is ran. So you don't necessarily have to add parameters within the BAQ page itself anymore, because again, I'll show you how we can add those in Kinetic App Studio. And then again, control, filter, we have those little filter buttons we saw, and these are either prompted like static filters, or you could select them in other tools. So again, when do you want to use? I've talked about this a lot, but here's another example. We can think about the part trend table. So this table has over thousands of records since it tracks all the part movements and transactions. And when I ran this in SQL, we saw that in our test system, we had 18,678 rows. And this is not even the most I've seen. I've seen companies with over 200,000 because they had various companies under one company. So it would run all of the companies, and that's just a lot of data that you don't want slowing down your system. You don't want to pull in these 1,800 or 18,000 rows every single time you want to just run your dashboard or just run a simple query when you only care about one specific company or one specific period of time and things like that. So again, would you want to have all your data loaded into your dashboard first and then filter upon those thousands of records, or would you rather just put the parameter on the data to only pull that certain range of records and then filter down further? That's going to be the faster way that's not going to slow down your system. And again, see, this is when I ran that same part trend table in a BAQ, and it returned those 10,000 rows, which again is just going to slow down your system if you're pulling that much data every single time, when it would be much simpler to just filter it to get that small piece of data and then filter it further based on other criteria that you'd like to see. We can add those, like I was talking about, adding parameters. You usually want to do it before you run your query, but when you add it in the BAQ itself, and then you make a dashboard, it does automatically pull in those parameters for you, but they're a little buggy, and it's not my favorite way to use parameters. So I wouldn't recommend making the parameter in your dashboard and then having it just come over automatically. This is how I would bring in a static filter through grid BAQ options. Here's my little video where I was in the grid properties, and then I went to the BAQ options, and then I typed in my field name from my data view, and I just set it to that static option of Epic 06. And then when I ran it, again, it filters before it runs the query, and it just shows me all of Epic 06. And I know I have another table on the bottom, but I didn't do a filter on that one, so that's why it didn't filter that. This was specifically just for my part trend table up top, but I'll get into filtering the bottom one in a second. But that's how I would do it. And the good thing, which I'll go over in a little bit as well, is that it doesn't have to be static. You can connect these to different like constants or different fields as well. So you could have different tools that could help you put parameters. But again, these are the overarching ones. Are you able to reselect the parameters? For example, if the data parameter, can a user select a different date after running? Yeah, you can, but I would say you can also do that as a filter if you're talking about dates to say, again, the parameter would be kind of just filtering the large data. So let's say I just want it from this past year. I would make that a parameter. But then if I wanted to say only January or only February, I would make that a filter. So you could reselect them, but I would say it would probably be a better idea to reselect your filters versus rerunning the data and then putting that parameter on the data and rerunning that query again. And now we can move on to adding parameters in Application Studio when you load your BAQ into your data view. So now this is going to go into filtering my second grid that I had on the bottom. And here's that video. So this is my event, and I'm going into the properties. And again, we have another where clause where I'm actually going to make this a constant of the current company. So it's going to filter on whichever company you are currently in, which you're currently logged into on Epicor. And I did take that filter off on the first one for this example, but look, when I press these new rows, which basically what this does is when I press on a new row, it filters out the second grid and shows me the part details from that part number. And then if it went a little fast, I can rewind. But for example, I'm pressing the third row, and that Epic 06 also has, which I was logged into, also has that part in there. So that's why it does show up for that little part detail section on the bottom. But then when I continued on pressing other ones, Epic 06 did not have Z1000, for example, which is why there was no data that showed there anymore. And then another cool thing, which was just that, again, these are all your BAQ options, which all of this affects the BAQ before it runs, which is what it would have done in the BAQ itself, but you can do it here in Application Studio. So you also have like order by and group by and all these other cool options. But yeah, this is where I was making that parameter of the constant company. And here are just some notes on some syntax for those where fields, because a bunch of the syntax for me personally is hard to keep track of. So here are some notes of just how to make it so that way I followed this one on the bottom where I had the quotes, the 2 question marks, constant dot current company, which is how I was able to filter that company to the current company. And then there was also in that first grid example where I showed you that you can filter in the grid BAQ options itself. So that way you don't have to do where company is this and. You have a where list option where you do the same thing. You just do the column condition, you put in the value, and it would do that instead of having to write that all in one line as you would in like SQL or in the BAQ. And now again, once we filter down the overarching, that big piece of data, now we can go into filtering it more. And we have these little filter buttons that are now in, I want to say almost all the grids that you see in Kinetic, that allows you to just simply type in something and it filters out the data for you. And this is good for just quick search ups, but there's other ways. And again, I'm just going to show a little video on those little filter buttons that are already made. Oh, and then these little buttons are actually advanced filters. That is a little button in the grid properties. So if you just go in the grid properties, there is a little button called advanced filtering. And when you press that, it'll show you all of these, because usually it's only these blue ones that pop up on the grids. So then after that, how can you filter and select from a drop-down list? So you're going to use a combo box. I'll go back to repeating what I said about this. These little buttons here I made so you can see that they don't have them down here. I made those pop up by when you press on the grid and you go into the properties on the right-hand side in Application Studio, there's a little button that does say advanced filtering. And that's how you get these little buttons that shows the sort ascending, sort descending, which you can also make happen by simply pressing on this for these. But yeah, that's how these pop up as well. Just a bunch of different options for filtering. And then again, back to the drop-down list, you can use a combo box in Application Studio, which I don't have the tutorial on how exactly to go through it, but I do have a video on how it looks. Thank you to Erin, who sent me this video. She actually built this, and she's doing a lunch and learn on combo boxes, and she's going to explain how to get this to work. She's doing a lunch and learn on grouping and trackers and stuff like that. So she's going to actually do a tutorial on how to get this to work, but this is what that would look like. You have the drop down and it filters your data based on those. And again, this combo box isn't the only way that you can do this. There's various other tools in Application Studio that you can do all of this filtering on. Again, like this button, you can have that linked to a field and filter your data in various other ways. Yeah, those were just the examples I have for today.